Hey gorgeous, welcome to my channel Soil and Margaritas. Today I get to take you around with me while I clean my raised beds. It is the beginning of October and most of the plants that I have here are done producing. We finally got a break from all the rain that we have been getting from the remnants of the hurricane. If you were in the path of the storm, I hope that you are safe. I hope that your family is safe. I hope that your garden didn't endure much trouble. As expected, the winds and the rain, the constant rain, did damage in some areas of my garden, but nothing super dangerous, thankfully. These Mexican sunflowers, Tithonia red torch Mexican sunflowers, were the ones that really just crash. Before I remove all of these branches, I just want to make sure that I save a bunch of seeds, and getting a few of those spent blooms to keep inside is a good idea for me to get free seeds for next year, basically. The plants that I have here going on that arbor are just so wild, so big, so healthy looking. And when the wind took them down, they pretty much crashed over my lemongrass that I have growing there. You can't even really see it because these Mexican sunflowers are just taking over this space right now. So I am going to get rid of them. It is time. It is that time of the year where things are starting to slow down. The mornings are definitely very cool. The forecast here for us in central Indiana shows some low 40s for the mornings, and my plants are definitely going to be done for this season. So starting a little bit early is a good way for me to just get ahead of the game. The main reason why I am cleaning this today is because the city where I live has a special truck that picks up brush and dead plants basically, and they do this throughout the year from March to October, and tomorrow is the last day for the pickup. So I am just taking advantage of that, and I am just on cleaning mode right now. Anything that I see that is done producing, that it will be done, is just going to go into those piles where I don't have to put them anywhere specific. And I'm just making sure that I don't have anything here that it has some sort of disease or that it's just sick of something. Anything that is healthy, anything that's just pretty much done for the year is going to go into those piles, and that helps me just save space in my garden. I mentioned on another video that the Mexican sunflowers are definitely soft as far as the branches go. A little bit of a wind or a little bit of a push from me and they break very easily. But just like any other sunflower, the base, the roots where they are growing is very thick and very intense. So I am going to have to get some special pruners to cut them at the base. I am not even going to try to dig them up. Cutting them at the base is basically what I do with plants that are just very thick in roots. And I just leave the roots there because they will decompose in time and be part of the soil of this raised bed. At some point, I made a decision to let go of this garden. I was still harvesting constantly, but I decided to stop pruning, stop trying to keep everything nice and tidy, and it shows. Things were definitely growing into the pathways. The only thing that I was pruning constantly was my tomatoes, and although they were not as many, not as productive as I expected them to be, I still got some harvest here and there. As I am pruning these plants, both from tomatoes and from peppers, I am making sure that I am keeping the fruit. A lot of these plants are loaded with peppers, especially the jalapenos, and I just want to make sure that I get all of those indoors to make some meals. I still have a lot of peppers, and I have a few of my big beefsteak tomatoes. Like I said, at some point I just let things go, and you can see how the plants are just kind of crashing, going towards each other, and I am very okay with that. Very slowly, I am going to make sure that these raised beds are clean, ready to go towards winter. I am not going to be growing anything specific or a lot of one single plant for the winter. Even though I have the space, I am just kind of feeling like I am done for this year, if you know what I mean. But I do want to make sure that my raised beds are ready for my garlic, which I am going to be planting here in a few weeks. And for that, I have to start slowly getting rid of the plants that are growing here. And even though my garden is very, very small, I do have a lot of plants, and they take a lot of work to be cleaned away. This massive plant that you're seeing right here is my Malabar spinach. I believe I have 2 plants growing to that trellis there that I got from Menards. And as you can see, I can easily move these trellis or this support that I have here for those vines very easily. They're still attached in the bottom with the roots and everything. So I am going to make this very, very easy for myself, and I am just going to cut them from the vase, and I am going to try to take the whole thing in one piece. Actually, I have been thinking for quite a few days how to do this, and that's probably the easiest. As you can see, the plant right now is just being supported by the roots from the plants. But once I free those, the plant is just pretty much free. Only 2 plants, you guys. 2 plants growing here. That's all it took to pretty much cover this entire trellis. And I kept pruning and pruning and pruning these vines. At some point they wanted to start growing into my tomato area, and I just had to come hard to prune them. If you love the texture of this Malabar spinach, if you find it easily to intermingle with other foods in your kitchen, this is one to grow. I personally was not a big fan of the texture, but I am glad that I grew it. I am glad that I got to see what this plant was all about. It is intense. It definitely needs space, and overall, very easy to grow.